Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back with another live stream, man. I am your host, King DV. This is the King DV Sports Podcast, where we talk everything Eagles, man. One of the realest Eagles podcasts out there. If you rocking with the channel, you rocking with the team, you rocking what you see in the training camp so far, please stop what you're doing, like, comment, subscribe, ding the bell for notifications so you don't miss anything involving the Philadelphia Eagles on this channel. We got to get into some things, ladies and gentlemen, man. We got some things to talk about. Been going for a couple days, man. Let's say what's up to the people. Art McQueen, what up? Happy birthday, EC1, my boy, 26 years old today. Happy birthday. I gotta put that up there for my guy. But yeah, it's a lot to get into, man. First thing I do want to get into before I put the link out there, because I do want to make this a call-in show. I want people to be able to voice their opinion on what they've seen the last couple of days from the Philadelphia Eagles, what they've been hearing, any news that they want to talk about, anything they want to address and all that, you know what I'm saying? But I do want to talk about what Brandon D did put out on Twitter. He basically set up there and said, Phelps, good luck, bro. Good luck. So I do want to talk about the Jalen Carter cap hits. He won't see over 20 million until 2029. You know what I'm saying? Until 2029. 2026, 9.1 million. That's that fourth year option. I mean, that fourth year on this contract. 2027, that's the fifth year option, 9.5 million. Then it goes, then that's when it starts. That extension starts. So now you got the 15.5 million in 2028. You got the 2029, you got 22.2. 2030, you got 29.4. 2031, you got 26.2 million. And then on top of that, you got the 32-year, 2032, $68 million. But it's a void year. We all know that Howie Roseman is not going to pay that. The way Howie Roseman did this contract, he should be going to jail right now. He should be. Because at the end of the day, if you look at it, he made it so that those conversations that, because Howie Roseman got it brought it to his attention when they were talking to him in a press conference about Coop and Q. And basically, he said that, hey, those guys are going to get paid. This is paraphrasing, but then Q, I like how Q mindset is right now, even though right now he's having a little struggle with the best route runner in the NFL. Yes, I'm saying Devontae Smith is the best route runner in football function. What up? But when you think about it, right, those cap hits is not really that big. They're not really that big at all. On top of what we also paying Jordan Davis, it's not that big at all. Then another thing I want to discuss is the Vic Fangio press conference, man. He said a lot. Every time Vic Fangio speaks, my ears and eyes be glued to the screen and the speaker to see, like, okay, what truth that he's going to put out there, right? He put out a lot of truth, man. He basically told it like it is. He said, hey, I don't see coming back to anytime soon. Talking about Jonathan Grenard, basically saying he's going to miss majority of training camp. Of course, a lot of people are not too concerned, like myself. I'm not too concerned about it. I think that when he does come back, he's gonna add to the defense that what the defense is doing without pads right now. We get to see a lot more with the pads go on, especially in the joint practice with the Patriots, and that's going to be one of those intense practices. Hopefully they can get a lot of things grooving within that joint practice, that they might not see too much in preseason. But Vic Fangio told it like it is about that. Also, he gave some light to what I was telling you guys about Nolan Smith. Basically was saying, yeah, I seen Jalen socks. I seen Jalen socks. Come on, man. I'm gonna talk about my quarterback. Don't worry about all that. We got all night. But yeah, I'm just here to talk about everything else before I let you guys, have the floor and try to, give some insight to what's really going on, right? You know, not gonna be on here too long. It's going to be about an hour and a half show. I just want y'all guys to be able to talk about certain things, man. The Andrew, what up? Like I was saying, yep, Yepa, what up? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Unique, but yeah, it's just one of those things. One of those things, man. Like you can't. Rich, what up? What up? What up? What up? I don't know why my dog going off, but yeah, it's just one of those things that, like I said, you can't. You just can't fathom with this contract extension. Whereas though that now you got Q and Coop, that's already freed up money. On top of that, it could be some money. It could be some money freed up for Reek if Reek have a decent season. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that are that's favoring the Eagles financially that I'm not too concerned about the financial part about it. I'm more concerned about, you know, how we are operating this this offense, which I'm gonna get into, and then also how the defense is rolling, especially who's going to step up in the absence of Jonathan Grenard in training camp and see if who can get those snaps. Who wants it more? I know Nolan Smith. Back to him, he's healthy. He's going to be one of those guys that I'm going to be focused on because I want him to be great, man. You know, I love. Don't get me wrong, I love Jalen Hunt, but I need Nolan Smith to be that this generation's Brandon Graham to me. You know, I need him to be that person. How he talks and how he's aggressive, animated, things like that. He's a trash talker. He does everything similar. They're similar in so many ways, and I just want Nolan Smith to be that guy for us. Yes, it's unfortunate that we had to get a Phillips, a Jalen Phillips, or we had to get a Jonathan Grenard when, you know, he was hurt, or, you know, he wasn't really going up to par, but he played through injuries, but he wasn't playing up to par. You know what I'm saying? And I just want Nolan Smith to be that next guy. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, we talked about the safeties a little bit. You had the Michael Carter II playing some safety. You also he basically didn't actually say that it was like a starter in the safety room yet. You know, it's up for grabs for anybody to get, you know, at this point. So that's what I'm saying, that it's one of those things that you really gotta look into with the safety room. And then also they're trying to give themselves a little window, because what I'm hearing, or what I'm hearing outside of what they're saying, is that they're trying to give themselves room to see what they got in the locker room before they even like have that window to try to grab somebody outside, to you know, shake up the room a little bit. Because let's face it, CJ Gardner-Johnson was available today or tomorrow. Everybody will sit up there and say CJ Gardner-Johnson need to be a Philadelphia Eagle yesterday. And if we had CJ Gardner-Johnson, you might as well polish those Lombardi trophies for us right now, because the way this defense is lined up, the way the defensive line is stacked up, and then you got Moro Jomo in a contract year that could possibly make $20 million. Yeah, I'm banking on the Eagles defense alone to get us to the promised land. But the offense has been spectacular to me. The offense has been spectacular to me, because you got to face it, man. When you got QB1 that start at the helm, when you got QB1 sitting up there just throwing subliminal shots, man. Let's face it, his press conference threw subliminal shots at you know who. And I loved it. I loved every point of it, because at the end of the day, it had to be said. It had to be said, right? On top of that, I love how he's playing. You know, I love how they having him play, you know, playing under center, doing play actions, rollouts under center, handing the ball off to Saquon and Tank. And Tank Bisbee been having a hell of a training camp so far. You know, a lot of people are concerned about, you know, how much touches that he's getting on top of Saquon Barkley, but I'm like, Saquon Barkley got some mileage on him. You know, as great as Saquon Barkley is, man, you don't want to put too much of the load on him. You want to see what you got in your guy, because now it's going to be a two running. It's going to be a 2 running back scheme, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, this is what it is, man. This is what it is. This is what it is. Yep, 100% alignment, 0 entitlement. Yep, yep. But yeah, I love the fact that the energy is totally different in his locker room. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's playing for one another. It's certain plays that stick out. Of course, it's the ones that the Eagles showed. And I do want to play a couple of them because, well, first things first, I do want to talk about how quick QB1 is. QB1 is fast as hell now. He came in lighter, more lean. He's hold on, let me try. He looks way lighter than the last couple years. You know what I'm saying? The last couple years, man. I am happy that damn Dark Cloud is out of the locker room. I'm happy that when you look at this team, it's more they're together with attacking this new scheme, this Sean Mannion scheme, and everybody has a lot of high praises still about it. Everybody, from the linemen, the vets that we have, to the younger guys, basically saying that this is a scheme that's difficult, but it's very like demanding of confusing the defense pre-snap, which we needed badly because we were so predictable. And that's what Lane Johnson alluded to, that we were too damn predictable at the time. You know what I'm saying? But we got some plays. We got some players from QB1 that we got to look at. Of course, everybody does seen it, but it just gets me amped up to know that Jalen Hurts is still learning, because his mannerisms and his techniques, his throwing techniques has changed. It got tightened up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see the same type of throws. And then one of the throws that he made, especially the Wicks that I'm gonna play, I think it's this one.
Good catch. Where you get that, dog? I like that.
That's what I'm saying. Look, he's more focused, right? And then that under the center, like, technician is about to feed families, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. All we need is that offensive line to stay healthy. That's all we need, is that offensive line to stay healthy. All we need is that offensive line to hold up their own. And then a lot of people are concerned because Eli Stowers is not being mentioned in his first couple training camps, but he's working on his blocking. That's one thing that I said that was his downfall, was blocking, because the way the scheme is laid out is due for blocking. So that's why you got Johnny Munt out there as tight end number 2, because you're going to need that extra block, especially if you got to have the running game going. You got to have all those things going. So it's bound to happen that, it's going to be Tiff. What up? Big Pickin', Drew. But yeah, you're gonna need that blocking, that extra blocking. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not too sure why people are so confused on why Eli Stowers is not starting with the ones. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's one of those things where you're like, a lot of people just need to sit back and relax and basically watch how everything unfolds and learn why things are going, like, just how the players are sitting up there learning. Us as fans need to learn as well. You know what I'm saying? No, Fel's about to get a wrench. I'm just talking right now. I'm promise you, Fel's is going to get a wrench. I'm talking right now. Fel's is going to get a wrench, brother. Don't worry. I know. But there it is. Yeah. But no, that's funny. That is funny, man. He is cooking. But look, she threw me off. But yeah, Johnny Munt needs to be in the situation of that other blocking route tight end. You know what I'm saying? To the point where he's been in the game before. He's probably going to be familiar or somewhat familiar with the system. And then on top of that, you think like it'd be times where we probably going to need two offensive tight ends. He needs to be ready to either block or do any of those things, just in case of audibles or anything like that. Like if he does get those snaps, he needs to um be ready. So I am happy they had him on the sideline blocking with the offensive line back, offensive lineman. But we can't sit up there and think that from day one. Nina, what up? Hope Bob Dukes is okay. I hope all is well with yourself and y'all health. But I don't want us to jump the gun because he's not going with the starters or anything. And you didn't really hear too much about him. You really didn't hear too much about Mekhi Lemon either. Mekhi Lemon is just going through the motions, working and all that. I'm just happy because a lot of people now are talking about Jalen Hurts not throwing a touchdown or anything like that. Like, no, he's basically is mastering under center and everything like that. He's making good plays, man. Making good plays like this one here. That's the wrong video. And you know how I feel about Smitty. You know how I feel about QB1. I'm mad that I couldn't find the video of do I have it? Let me see, because I think I do. The video when he threw it to what's it called? That was a tough ball, man. I do have that somewhere. Let me see. When he threw it to Cooper, man, where was it at? Where is it? I do have that, man. But that was a tough ball placement and even better catch. I think it was this one. I think it was that one. Yeah, it was that one. But I'm not too concerned about. Yeah, I heard about Top Billing. I know Top Billing, man. He is a Philly bull. I know. He got the beard. He got the Philly beard. It's so patchy, but it sticks out a little. Yeah, I know Top Billing. I'm familiar with his channel. But oh yeah, here it is. I don't want to get no copyright strikes because of the song. I didn't mute the music. But that ball placement was immaculate. I'd never seen Jalen Hurts's mannerisms in the pocket look so like Chris. Even though they're not tackling, he's not going against another team or anything like that. The way he's throwing the ball is I can't wait until we put on some pads. I can't wait until we go against the Patriots in the joint practice. I believe that's a 2-day practice as well. I am excited for that. I'm very excited for it. I think that when it comes down to Jalen Hurts in this office, I think that they'll be more than ready, man. As you see, a lot of people are comparing now because that's what the toxic Twitter does. They sit up there and compare what's going on with Gonzo, Christian Gonzalez, and AJ Brown and all that. Yeah, AJ Brown court one over him, but so did Romeo Dobbs. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing, man, and he court one over him on one-on-ones. My guy Smitty is about to break down Christian Gonzalez. I'm tell y'all that when I tell y'all that Smitty is one of the best, if not the best, I feel like that he's the best. I'm just trying to be politically correct for people that's watching that just, want to compare wide receivers. I feel like that Smitty is one of those ones when he can actually get you off of the top of his route and make a move, and you'll be like stuck in the sauce. And he's already towards the end zone, or he's already in the out route, trying to catch the ball and toe drag out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? It's so many things that Smitty could do that I felt like that AJ Brown couldn't, because AJ Brown's done a great separator up on on the catch. Yards after catch is more so him just being strong. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm not taking anything away from AJ Brown, but the way Devontae Smith work is totally different, and he could get over on corners that like to press. You know, he could get over on them because the way he could cut back or the way he can make a double move and he is going. Look at what he did to Deron Bland. Look at what he did to one of the fastest cornerbacks in the league in Isaiah Rodgers. You know, just to name a couple. You know, look what he did to them. So that's why I'm saying that I just can't wait into that matchup. But you know, we got a lot more work to do. They're back. They're back to work tomorrow. I believe tomorrow morning. They had a walkthrough today. I'm happy, and you see things like QB1, the wide receivers, and Wicks and Hollywood Brown and all them, Smitty and all them. They on the jugs after practice. He's under center, just practicing after practice. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that you like, man. You heard Jordan Mailata say that QB1 is coming with another like a chip on his shoulder, like he's coming in, like locked in, really locked in. So when we talk about, you know, him not throwing touchdowns and all that, he's trying to sit up there and not like think about it. Let's face it, in OTAs and in minicamp, they, you know, it's fresh to them and all that. This is very much before he took them all to Orlando, and then they had a little workout session together. They was at some type of Airbnb mansion or something like that down there. And yeah, it's hold on, y'all. I got a text. There you go. So, but yeah, it's one of those things that you gotta focus on, that you don't want to go through the whole training camp making the same mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You want to master it. And I feel like that how Jalen Hurts is and all that. I feel like Jalen Hurts is mastering this whole scheme so far. And I don't think it's going to be any different. Think about it. Everybody in the NFL, every team in the NFL, I should say, is not going to have a Jordan Davis or Jalen Carter. Everybody in the NFL is not going to have a Cooper DeJean or a Q or a Reek or Jonathan Grenard, and then Jalen Hurts on the other side. Everybody's not going to have a Zach Bond or Jahad Campbell, who Vic said that Jahad Campbell is not going to be cross-trained anymore. I was happy to hear that shit, because I'm like, okay, we gave up on the Kobe Dean, and he was playing some good football before the Kobe Dean came back after what was that, after week 6 or so. He was playing some great ball. You know, he was not great. He was playing good ball. So I say that to say this, he needs to step it up a notch. He needs to step it up a notch. Likes is free. Please like, comment, subscribe, ding the bell for notifications, man. I'm trying to, you know, be one of those ones, man. If not, you know, my name is already ringing. It's just, you know, got to get these subscribers and these likes up, have YouTube monetize me, so, you know, we can build on the channel. Like I said, I do make t-shirts. I do want to start giving out prizes. I do want to have memberships too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, been rambling for 25 minutes, man. I'm trying to get to the half an hour mark before I put this link out there, because I know Art, I don't know if Art's still in the building, but Art did want to have some time to talk on the show. So we could get on with that. You know, I'm just happy with what I'm seeing so far from the squad. Even down to the little things, man. The Chat GPT message that Nick Sirianni actually came up with. You know, he actually typed it in and they gave him a little something to run with, and it hit. It hit, man. It really do, man. Like that right there. Like those little things make it matter. You know what I'm saying? And then when everybody's bought in, you know, you don't have no egotistical players. You don't have no players that lack the effort just because they don't understand one team, one dream. They don't understand the details or anything like that. They beyond that. So you could go be beyond that somewhere else. Void it. What up? What's up, y'all? Go Birds. Vibes are good. And QBB, look, he's real locked in. Happy, he's smiling more. He's basically take. I love one thing I love from Jalen Hurts is when he gets on a microphone when he gets on a mic and he says he basically takes over the whole thing. You know, he don't allow the reporters to take over. He comes in, he says what he needs to say, and then he just be real stern with his answering, you know, and then he'll probably throw a little joke there to try to keep the humor going, but he's real focused. You could tell that he's different this year. You could tell. You could tell, man. And I cannot wait to see how the season is going to unfold for him, man. Like I said, got him being in the race, if not MVP of the league. MVP of the league, because now you can't sit up there and put that on, oh, because he got AJ Brown. You know, Devontae Smith is there too. Devontae Smith is one of those ones, man. And a lot of people going to start putting respect on spitting names. Yeah, they respect him as a Heisman winner. They respect him as they respect him as a Super Bowl champion and a part of the dagger, one of the best plays in Super Bowl history. But they're not going to respect him as the true number one until he got to go out there and prove it. You know, we know that he should be getting paid as a wide receiver one. We know what he could do as a wide receiver one. But just like Dallas Goedert alluded to in his interview, we're going to be placing Smitty in different places. It's not just an outside or inside wide receiver. This is the beauty of the system. You know, the way the system is ran, you can have Smitty in the slot. You can have Smitty and Dontayvion Wicks swapping sides. You can have a bunch formation where you don't know where Smitty going to be at. You're going to have all types of things that's going on with this system, whereas though or Smitty could turn to be a blocker. You know, he did that a couple times. No, Hollywood Brown's going to get some snaps, but here's the thing. When you got the Dontayvion Wicks, the Mekhi Lemons, because you got to start him. He's the number one draft pick. Right, you got to have him at least third in rotation. Then and then of course Smitty, Hollywood Brown's fourth. So if you doing doing three bunches or something like that, Hollywood Brown has to be in that mix so you could take off the top. So now you could kill him from underneath where the holes and the gaps is going to be at. You know, under the centers. You know, you got to manipulate the centers and you got to manipulate the linebackers. I'm all for that because that's what opens up the field for offenses. Now, when you get to the running game, like I said, I'm happy that he's coming in leaner. Talk about Jalen Hurts. I'm happy he's coming in leaner because that leaves room. His athleticism leaves room for Saquon Barkley to be good on back of a healthy offensive line. And then also you got number 8. You know, you got Tank Bigsby back there as well. On top of that, passing out the backfield should be more fluid than yesteryears, whereas though that as soon as you pass it to him, you don't need Saquon Barkley to do a spectacular play, even though it was a great play, jumping in reverse and all that over somebody. You don't need those things. You know what I'm saying? Like the blocking is great, and you don't have no lackadaisical down the field play. You know what I'm saying? That's what this offense should bring. But I'm gonna do that now. Hold on, let me go up. Let me see what we doing. So right now I'm gonna post this up, man. I don't know who's home. I don't know what's going on, what people internets and anything like that. But I'm gonna post it up. Hopefully it comes up. There you go. So that's the link. So for anybody that want to come up and talk a little bit about what you like and you know about the Eagles so far, what's going on, the link is there. I feel real good about this squad, man. I feel real good about the vibes. I'm excited that everybody's as of right now, because the season does get a little difficult, but right as of right now, people are getting along. This team said they can care less what people said and think, and that's the great mindset to have, Tiff. That is a great mindset to have. Basically, nobody cares what people say or anything like that, because at the end of the day, man, it's all about what they going to do. You know what I'm saying? They doubting the quarterback because he didn't throw no touchdowns. They seeing touchdowns for Drake May on one-on-ones. They didn't do no red zone practices yet. They didn't practice those drills. They didn't practice like end game drills and all that. They just ran 11 on 11, 7 on 7s in the middle of the field to see, who's going to win the battle. The defense has been lights out as always. We already knew that that's what was going to happen. But at the end of the day, I knew that the defense was going to show out. I already knew the defense was going to show out. It was just how the offense was going to look, and the offense hasn't disappointed yet. Hasn't disappointed yet, man. The only disappointing factors in the offense, of course, man, the guy that got hurt, got injured, the offensive lineman, man. Prayers to him. Happy that he didn't have to get carted off and he walked in the back of his own will. And then also Cole, not what's his name? The what's that? The fourth quarterback on our squad. Like, yeah, he was a lick. He was a lick yesterday. He was a lick. 3 interceptions. It's beyond me, man. Beyond me. He made all these guys look good. People talk about Epineza and all those guys. Yeah, he made all those guys look good, man. And I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying that, like, come on now, you're supposed to be, that quarterback that, because as soon as they got drafted first day, they said, oh, he knows how to run a certain system like Jalen Hurts. He's left-handed. So, yeah, he's going to be good. And look at him. 3 interceptions. Second day of practice, 3 interceptions. It's crazy to me. Meanwhile, you got Andy Dalton and Tanner McKee splitting those reps still. They don't know who they want to have at QB2. They don't know. You see how fast your stock had dropped after one game. That last game versus the Commanders for Tanner McKee was not a good one. That wasn't a good showing. It wasn't a good showing at all. It wasn't. Balance attack on offense is our formula. It is. That's been our formula. But here's the thing, fellas. QB1 has to be QB1. He can't sit up there and they talk about the West Coast offense. And I heard a lot of Eagles content creators and even content creators of the NFL basically state that, the Eagles has to play more West Coast offense, whereas though Jalen Hurts is in the pocket. You can't take away Jalen Hurts' superpower in running. Running has always been his forte, or being able to create a play. He's very underrated at that. How Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes and all them, even Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen and all them, how they do it, whereas though they scrambling and they trying to make a play. Yeah, he's very underrated with that. A lot of people don't give him those props. I think you may be just post the link to your channel, not the stream. Oh, wait. Not the stream. Let me see. Let me see. Oh. Let me see if this works. I think I did post it to my channel. Let me see if that works. I'm looking at it on a video. It says there's a link. You never want to. You don't want to take that superpower away. Why is it not? I don't know what's going on. It's called separation. It's cool. Yeah, I need to watch that. I need to watch that. So in 2 days of training came, he's masterful. LOL. There we go. I was waiting for one of them to come in. He's masterful. Nobody said he's masterful, but go ahead, bro. That's a shame. Who was he a fan of? Sorry, I had a call. Who was he a fan of though? Nobody says that he was masterful. He's mastering the offense. He's mastering it. I can't wait Can't wait. I want to see who he's a fan of. So it won't allow you to click the link. So I'm trying to get somebody in here so we can have a discussion for the time that we have on live and all that. Hopefully he is a Pats fan. I want him to be a Pats fan. The best passer offense he's had since being in the league as a starter is 16th. Oh, Dallas Cowboys. That's great, man. Welcome aboard, bro. I'm not one of those ones that's going to sit up there and try to kick you out. Not one of those ones that, you know, shy away from the trolling and doing all this. But it's great that you're in here, bro. Get some insights. You know, it ain't like y'all gonna win anyway. You get some insight and all that. Oh, this one Eagles fan said that Jalen Hurts was mastering the offense. He's a master. He's mastering it. He's trying to break down this offense so now he can go out there and win MVP, brother. Not going to win anything though. It's good. Post a YouTube channel, DV, not the stream. Link is where. Oh, post a YouTube channel. No, I thought you post the. I thought you're supposed to post the. Oh, I'm posting the. So post the channel. All right, let's see. Well, see, that don't work either. Okay. Well, see, I'm doing it through StreamYard. So, all right, let me just because my channel is here. Yeah, I'm on StreamYard. Got you. So post that. Hold on. Let me go here. No, I wanna invite people. Here we go. There we go. Boom. There we go. So I'm gonna put it into my community then. Hold on, I'm trying to do that now for you guys. There we go. What the hell? Hold up. Copy. Just trying to do this real quick, y'all, so we can get up here and I can't. Let me try this. It's not allowing me to the channel. Let's go to live. Let's try this. And that's the StreamYard there. See if that works. Because it won't even allow me to post in the what's it called? It won't even let me post to the community page. That's ridiculous if you think. There we go. There we go. There we go. What's up,
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up, King DV? You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Happy birthday, man.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. YouTube has channel banned me for 3 days, so I'm a little suspended for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But
Uh-huh.
free me. It's all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man. Hey, bro, I'm excited for this team, bro. Jalen Hurts is going to make people cry again, man. If you're a fan who hates on Jalen Hurts, my advice to you is to go to the local grocery store and get a box of tissues, Puffs, Kleenex, and wipe your tears because you're gonna be doing a lot of that. I'm telling you, like I've never seen this kid been motivated in my life like the way he is. There's something about him that I don't think people are prepared for. And King DV, we go back to like when you have a guy like a McVay type offensive coordinator, and I said, give him this and you see what happens. It's about to get spooky for a lot of these teams, man. I think the biggest mistake they did was to sit there and say he can't throw because he's using that energy and saying, hey, you say I can't throw, but look at what I'm doing. I like the way Wicks. I think Wicks can be a number one. I really do. I really do. Like, because I think he's so underrated. What is he, only 25 years old? And I don't think he's had a quarterback like Jalen Hurts. Like, let's be real. Is Jordan Love really elite? In my opinion, I don't think he is. I don't think he's Jalen Hurts type level. So this is the first time he's going to have a quarterback that can get him the ball. And I think him and Devontae Smith can be number ones. It's just my opinion. I think Mekhi Lemon is good too. But again, he's a rookie, and I expect him to grow and have growing pains. But I think he's going to ball out. But I'm excited for Wicks, man. I really am. I think Wicks has a chance to fill in some of that void that A.J. Brown had. And this offense, I just think it's going to score a lot of points. I think this offense is going to click. I think this defense is going to be what it is, dominant. I'm excited, bro. I really am. I think Jalen Hurts is going to shut a lot of people up. And I'm just saying, bro, there's going to be a lot of fans that are going to be crying this year because if they were crying in the Super Bowl when we won it, imagine what they're going to be doing this year.
I think they will. Art, you there?
My guy, King DV, how you doing, man?
What up? How are you feeling? How are you feeling about these last couple of days about the training camp and what you've been hearing?
Man, listen, I don't want to get too excited, you know what I mean? Because
I'm getting excited, bro.
Everyone
get excited, man.
Everyone likes to rain on our parade.
We can definitely get excited, bro.
Yeah, everyone likes to rain on our parade. So
see, they're over there talking about Super Bowls. Their quarterback came and win a division round. You know what I'm saying? I'm already seeing Cowboy fans talk about Super Bowls. So let's pump our chest, man, because we've seen a quarterback do it.
That's what I be saying. So listen, yeah. For me, man, I'm liking the first thing I noticed right off the jump. Jalen's looking different. Now, for the newbies, for the ones that just jump in to talk shit, they ain't gonna notice it because they don't watch Jalen. But I can tell you, I'm seeing the evolution that he came in with this year. He has clearly worked on all the little things because what was it? After 23, he went in and he needed to work on when they would send a blitz. He had some big problems in that year. So he went into that offseason. They said no chance he'll fix it. He fixed it. He was one of the best the next year when they would send a blitz. Yeah. This year he went in for minor, just little tweaks, and you can just see it. Like I don't know if you guys watch Lord Brunson, but he was saying just the offhand, how smooth it looks, how it's not like juddering to the side. Now it's like staying high and tight to his body. How the throwing motion just feels way more crisp, where before it was kind of not clunky, but like it felt like he put a lot into it, versus now it looks super smooth. So I'm thinking, and seeing him throwing that thing down the middle. Now he's never had issues throwing it down the middle. He actually had a 80% completion percentage, and he's off out of 100 throws he's made in the middle, he had completed 75, 80 of them. So he'd never had an issue with throwing it down the middle.
No.
The coaching had issues with taking advantage of it because they're thinking run, and just throw the deep ball. Let's not worry about anything else.
Yeah.
And that's what's killing us because it ends up being too damn basic.
My biggest fear is this head coach, and I hope he stays out the way. I really do, because if he does, we'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? But because like and everybody said, well, you hate on Nick. No, I don't hate on Nick. I think that he gets over ego with his thinking he knows how to call plays, and he gets involved way too much, and it affects the offense. You know, if he just stays out the way and let the off corners do their job, this offense would be killing it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have good coaching, like I argue with my guy OG Wade because he tried to tell me, "Oh, coaching don't matter." Like he tried to tell me in one of the streams. I don't know if you watch one after Joe Jiglo, where he telling me, "Oh, coaching don't matter." I'm like, "Bro, coaching matters." Like he said, "No, no, it's a schedule." And I'm like, "No, it's not. You need coaching." You know what I'm saying? You have to have good coaching. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Nick Sirianni gets in his ways a lot where he doesn't see him as a problem. And it's like, bro, just step away and let the off corners do the job. And if they can do that, this offense is going to score a lot of points. I mean, the potential that we have.
The thing is, what if we do good this year? Real quick, and then you can cook, DB. Let's say we do amazing this year and win the Super Bowl. And let's say I'm hoping we get Sean at least 2 years, but he leaves again this year. We're back to the same bullshit with this guy Nick, man. He's such a big problem, and he makes us so inconsistent, and that all gets thrown on Jalen. But the reality is, he'll got because what happens is 1 year Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie will make the hires. The next year, Nick will come up bowing his chest like, "Oh, well, I won the Super Bowl, so I'm making the decision." He'll make the choice, and it's some bullshit that the guy either one doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and two, he doesn't even have a track record of knowing what the hell he's doing. Versus at least this guy, he's never done it before. He's got a great track record. He's got one of the best. He's been through all the best coaches you can think of in the National Football League. All the top 10 you name, he's been under them.
You're scaring King DV in the nine because now we're thinking of ahead, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my hope is, like, in King DV, this is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we don't let Sean Mann out that door. If he is good, then what he is, I don't care what it is. You pay him what he is, and you keep him in that building. Because, again, I don't want to go back to, since we won a Super Bowl, all right, let Nick hire. No more of that, man. Like, we need consistent offense coordinators. The biggest thing about these other quarterbacks that I keep bringing up is they have consistency, right? Josh Allen had an offense coordinator more than 2 years. That his head coach is his offense coordinator now. You know, all these teams had offense coordinators, and it seems like Jalen Hurts has to move on from another offensive coordinator he has learned every single time he has to learn a new offense. Does that make sense? Where it's like new offense coordinators coming in, new coaches have to come in, and to me, it's like, I don't think any other quarterback can do what Jalen is adapt the way he does. You know, the fact that he has inconsistent offense coordinators in his whole career as an Eagles starter, and I think he had 2 years of the same offense coordinator, which was Shane Steichen, is insane, bro. And I think that the way Jalen Hurts progressing, if you can give him consistent offense coordinators that he can work with and build the bond with, then this quarterback can take his talent to the next level even better than what it was before. Like, his ceiling is that, and people don't understand it. And I hope that we keep Sean May, or it seemed like at least give him at least 3 years. You know, I don't want him to leave, and because I'm sorry, Josh Grizzard, I don't trust him to be the offense coordinator. And I'm sorry,
they're going to do it too.
This guy couldn't even make the Buccaneers look good, and you telling me that this guy's going to come in there and be the offense coordinator, or we're going to hire someone out, hire Nick Sirianni's best friend? No, thank you. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure, if you want to keep Nick, that's fine, but you have to get him someone outside the building where he's that he knows that offense coordinator is in the building, that he doesn't have to do too much. Does that make sense?
Listen, let's just make it realistic, right? Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, we win the Super Bowl this year. Offense is booming. Jalen Hurts has MVP season, regardless if he win it or not. He's a Super Bowl MVP once again. And then Sean Mannion take himself and his team elsewhere and becomes a head coach. Let's just hypothetically speak that into assistance. Now, with the Nick Sirianni situation, I think that what Howie Roseman and Jeff Lurie will look at is, okay, well, what worked for Jalen Hurts to make him get back into the MVP mode that he had, or enhanced from 2022. And basically what happens is we got it from that tree. So all we have to do is kind of get somebody that's more evolved than a Sean Mannion that's probably going to be available. That's from the McVay and Shanahan and all that tree to the point where now you can place them. Now what happens is it's not just about Jalen Hurts and him having consistency, because we've seen him have so much success inconsistently that it really doesn't matter. Kellen Moore was here for 1 year. We went to the Super Bowl. Then you had Kevin Patullo. Yes, we offense sucked and was horrific, but we still was 11-6. Jalen Hurts still threw 3,200 over 3,200 yards. Yes, he had under 600 rushing yards, but that was on the strength of us let's push it. Let's do this. Let's do that, because it was a lot of lazy play calling, a lot of play calling that it was just like incompetent. And then on
a lot of celebration on the coaching staff too, for no reason.
Right. So what I'm saying is, yes, as much as we put so much emphasis on, because right now, like Jalen Hurts, 7 years quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, 6-year starter. He's been up and down in the postseason. Is either he's winning it all, or he's getting bounced the first round. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing really in between. I can't say that our quarterback smelled a second loss. I mean, second round loss. But going back to the coaching staff, I think the coaching staff don't really have too much of an impact. Think about it. Every single time that we got to sit up there and go with a new offensive coordinator, he needs a new QB coach too. Every single time.
Yep. And see,
I understand that. So basically, what Art was saying about his mechanics, and LB alluded to on his channel, shout out to LB, is because Park Frazier's seen that. And one of his mechanics not being able to throw a certain way because of him dangling his arm and all. I watched Jalen Hurts do that, and now I see that Jalen Hurts is basically keeping that arm tucked in. It's similar to what Drew Brees did. It's similar to what who else was a smaller quarterback. It was these smaller quarterbacks have to do certain things like that.
But Shay, like I got to give you credit, because you actually said that last year that his arm is wide away. Like, we saw that, right? And we said, like, listen, his arm isn't where it's supposed to be. Like, his mechanics are off and stuff like that. Like, if we could see that as fans, why can't this front office not see that and say, hey, you know what? We got to keep Sean Mann. Like, to me, it's like Sean Mann can't leave. If he has Jalen Hurts, let's say Jalen Hurts goes out there and he balls out, like he has his best season, I don't want to let him go then. Because if I have the choice between keeping Nick Sirianni or making Sean Mannion, I mean, what do you do in that situation? You let Sean Mannion walk away, and then you have to start with Nick Sirianni, hoping he can go outside the building and get an offensive coordinator? Or if he decides to hire a new offensive coordinator again inside the building, are you really going to do that again?
Go ahead, Art.
Honestly, in that situation, if Sean just blows me away this year, I would go on and just get rid of Nick. And I know the thing is, it's just only the Eagles could do something like that, right? Where they let go of a coach when he just won the Super Bowl. But I feel like in this case, it might really be necessary, because you'll be looking at, okay, do we want to go into a shitty year again next year dealing with Nick? Or do we want to keep stacking these big-time years? Because last year we wasted that shit. The Seahawks won the Super Bowl, bro. They trash, man. I ain't worried about that team.
It's embarrassing, man, because we would have smoked them.
We would have did them dirty.
No. Come on. We can't talk like that. Like, regardless of
no.
And we play
even if we decent offensive coordinator, we definitely can beat the Bears. Listen, I think we would have had definitely leverage in that game.
We could beat the Bears. Listen, we could beat the Bears.
We definitely could beat Seattle.
Right. No, we would have had to play them there though in Seattle.
We would have sent them home. Our team.
I don't know, man. It's tough. No. I'm saying I don't know.
No, I got to give
I'm rooting for the Eagles. I'm going to root for the Eagles all in all, but playing in Seattle is tougher. No, I ain't going to say tougher, because I think playing at the Link, it should be tough. You know what I'm saying? We don't let people go ahead and take over our stadium, but you got to be more realistic, right? with the Nick Sirianni situation, yes, Nick Sirianni, nobody really likes him as a play caller. We know what he does after a successful year. He go in and hire within, probably hire one of his friends, somebody that he's close to, things like that. And then we plummet. And then we start looking like 2023, 2021, and we're not being able to move the change. We are basically fighting ourselves behind the sticks, third and longs. We've seen it all, right? But at the same time, the only thing that's saving Nick Sirianni is not just the longevity with Jalen Hurts, it's because he's a yes man for Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman.
KingDV, I just thought of an idea in my head when you were talking about Nick Sirianni. You could put a sound bite like tough detail together out of nowhere. Just talking about Nick Sirianni and you hear tough detail together.
So how do y'all feel? How do y'all feel about Jalen Carter's contract, though? You know, I already spoke what I thought.
I mean, dude, you had to pay him. I understand what people are saying. Oh, you had to wait, but listen, the money was going to get even it was going to get expensive. You didn't pay him. You know, listen, Howie Roseman knows what he's doing. I trust Howie. The only thing I worry about is not really Jalen Carter. Like, my biggest fear is Jonathan Gennard. Like, I'm sorry, I'm more worried about him not being healthy than Jalen Carter, because I know Jalen Carter will have a great year. I'm sorry, Jonathan Gennard. When we made that trade, my suspicion was he can't stay healthy, and
he didn't even make it to training camp, bro.
No, and that freaks me out because we've been through this before. You know what I'm saying? Well, we have traded for guys. AK, who was the guy that we traded for that didn't work out before? Was one of them. What was the other one from Chicago that didn't work out? What was his name? The guy that we got what was that trade that was end up being a bum too? But there's guys that we brought in. Robert, what's his name?
No, you talking about
the safety, right?
What was his name, yo? No, you talking about the running back?
No. The pass rusher that we traded for Chicago. Robert Quinn.
Oh, yeah, Robert Quinn.
Yeah, so it's like, and listen, I think Gennard's a good player, but he can't stay healthy, bro. No. And I'm sorry, like, if he is hurt all the time, or we got to worry about him getting hurt nonstop. I mean, this ain't the first time his shoulder's been injured. He's been dealing with this in Minnesota. That's why he missed games, you know. And I'm sorry, it was like the fact he's not in training camp. You know, is he going to be ready for week 1 and be 100%, or is it going to take time for him to get himself situated where he's going to be like rusty? You know what I'm saying? And again, man, like, this is also an opportunity for Nolan Smith to step up. You know, what are you going to do in this situation? Are you going to take advantage of this situation? You know, I'm interested to see, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I think Nolan Smith hasn't done anything compared to Jalen Carter. That's a guy that I think that everybody should focus on. He's a first-round pick, and he hasn't done anything close.
Both of them are. But Nolan Smith did have his takes in this whole run that he's been on. Think about it. Like I said, I always alluded to the postseason of 2024, 4.5 sacks, and he played through the whole Super Bowl with an injury. Him and
that's
BG,
all.
both
That's it,
did.
though, DV. That's it.
No, I understand. No, I understand what you're saying, because we said the same. Look, think about it. Years ago, we said the same exact thing about N'Kobe Dean, and now we sitting up there like we hate to see him go because we got Jahai Campbell. We said the same exact thing. He was always injured. He wasn't available, and he wasn't really doing anything that he needed to do. Then he became a green dot, and then we start seeing what he was worth. That's what I'm saying. We got to give these guys time to build. Now, with the injuries holding Nolan Smith back, yes, I get that. And now they have to go out to get a Jalen Phillips. They got to go out and get guys like Jonathan Gennard. And I do want to pick up on what Tiffany was saying. I'm not like everybody else. I think Nick Sirianni has a purpose with the Philadelphia Eagles. I just think that the purpose is not play calling. That's my whole stint. I feel like that him being able to rally up 53 men to the point where they can go out on Sunday and be able to be put in positions and win is great. I'm about 50% on his situational play calling.
Hey, KingDV, put her comment real quick, because I just wanted to read what she said about what they said, because like
she just said that he was the glue. She just said that he was the glue.
He said like that he's the glue. But it's like, okay, he's the glue.
Like that.
But when my thing is with Nick Sirianni, when things go bad, where is he at? The 2023 season, again, you were 10-1, you had the number 1 seed. You squandered it to the 49ers. All you did was have to win one more game, and you would have clinched it.
That's
Should have been fired after that.
And that's what you get for hiring your friend, because now you're not going to come at your friend on national TV, like, and then you don't want to make sure that you was wrong. So that's what I'm saying, that you hire somebody outside, like you said, and then if anything comes about, then you step in, like, hey, what's really going on? Because what promised me what was going to happen, we're caving now. So now it's panic time, and I don't like to be in a situation.
And I get it, the 2023 defense was horrible. I get that. But, like, you can't tell me that this offense couldn't help this defense a little bit and say, you know what? Yeah, this defense is bad, but we got your back, right? When you get it figured it out, that's fine, right? Because eventually they would have showed up in the playoffs. You never know. But it's like you weren't in that situation. You let the 49ers, who didn't deserve it, get the number 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? We had the number 1 seed both times. 2020, I think 2025 last year, we had the chance to get the 2 seed. And then Nick said, no, we're fine. We're going to go for the 3rd seed. That to me is like, you know, you tell me Kevin Batullo and the Eagles couldn't beat the Packers. I'd rather play the Packers than the 49ers. Those are just the ways I think. If I'm the head coach, who would I rather play, honestly? You know, you have an inexperienced offensive coordinator, a new offensive coordinator that's still trying to figure it out, hopefully. And you give him probably the hardest opponent probably that you could give Kevin Batullo, a guy that is known as a offensive mind coach, and his offensive coordinators that actually understand plays. Like, I'd rather play the Packers because I would have a better chance of beating them than the 49ers. But he didn't think like that. He said, no, we're going to sit our players down. And then we lose embarrassing way to Washington. And it's like, you couldn't make Tanner McKee look good. Tanner McKee looked good with Kellen Moore. But you can't tell me you can't win one more game with Tanner McKee as your starter, because he looked like Jalen Hurts last year.
Okay, I'm not. Listen, I'm not. I'm not trying to give any excuse for.
But you get what I'm saying, right?
No, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, think about it. When Tanner McKee was out there against the Commanders last season with Kevin Patullo, they did have a banged up offensive line, whereas though that it wasn't the same type of offensive line that he played with 2 years ago.
I get the offensive line was the problem, but you're always going to have injuries. Coaching also helps a lot of it, does it not?
It does, and remember, by that time, Stout already checked out. He already checked out.
A receiver checked out too. You know what I'm saying? But
listen, Stout's another guy that should have some blame on him, because you look at Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson, and shit, even a couple other guys, but we'll leave them alone because they usually play really well.
I still don't understand how
you should have got him the hell off the field, man. Like, what are you doing? Because they was trash, bro. They was turnstiles. Cam Jurgens couldn't hold a block for more than a second and a half at most. So what do you expect Jalen to do? I mean, okay, think about it. Let's say
the Pro Bowl last year, by the way, too.
Let's say you're a quarterback, DV, and you drop back to throw a pass. And right down the middle, the worst area to get pressure, guys already in your face after a second and a half. What are you going to do? You ain't going to do shit. You're going to look horrible.
Right.
So he killed it. And from them not taking him off the field when he was playing like that, I'm sorry, but that's a crime that should be jailable. I mean, that's terrible.
First of all, let's be real. You're not taking no Cam Jurgens off the field. He's a starter.
You have to. No, but you have to.
Well, I mean, I would
situation
because I ain't gonna lie. I don't think he deserved to be Pro Bowl last year. I don't know how he got that. Who voted for him? It's crazy. I didn't vote for him to be Pro Bowl.
He was terrible. He was horrible.
I don't know what Eagle fans voted for him to be Pro Bowl, because the only guy that should be Pro Bowl, honestly, last year was our defense. You know what I'm saying? And I would argue QB1 for keeping the offense somewhat competitive with the offense. I mean, with all the issues he had, you could argue Devontae Smith should have been Pro Bowl, not no Cam Jurgensen who let defensive players go. I mean, he was horrible. His blocking was terrible. I'm watching Baldy break down the film, and this guy letting guys wide open, like it was a I don't know how to say it, but it was just bad. You know, even the Vikings game, Jalen Hurts is getting smothered and there's no blocking. Like, and yet he was Pro Bowl? Because I mean, who is voting? Like, I'm thinking the fans are voting for him, but now I'm thinking like, who voted for him as an Eagle fan? Please raise your hand, because we got to talk for real. Because I didn't vote for him to be Pro Bowl. I didn't. Maybe some Eagle fans did.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, right? When it comes to Cam Jurgens and all that, like I feel like that he gets a pass. I don't think that he should have been Pro Bowl either. But he gets a pass because it was bad judgment on the Eagles' part, regardless if it was Stout or if it was Nick Sirianni. It was bad on all parts because think about it. It was one game that he came back off an injury, and then we found out he was concussed, and he played majority of the game. It was one play that he just looked confused on who to guard or who to block and everything, and they went right around him and got
the Vikings game
disrupted. Yeah, I think it was either the Vikings.
It was the Vikings game.
It was either that game or the Bengals. It was one of the two.
Hey, listen, I saw that man get sandwiched and still made the throw.
Right.
But my whole thing is this, right? For Cam Jurgens to need surgery and go overseas for surgery, and Landon Dickerson as well, both of those guys should not have been in the lineup anytime last season. I feel like that we rushed them back too soon, and then when he got back, they weren't ready, and we was missing them. So now you got Brett Toth out there, you got Fred Johnson out there, and
then that's another thing.
Then Lane Johnson gets hurt, and then on top of that, everything just started crumbling. You still got Tyler Steen out there. The only one that was healthy all last season was Jordan Mailata.
I understand why they kept him. I mean,
even he wasn't that good. I'm sorry.
No. Because I'm just like
Tyler Steen to me is not great.
Of it. No, not Tyler. Well, Tyler Steen actually did.
Tyler Steen's okay, but he's not.
He did okay last season.
Now, I expect Markel Bell to take over this offense. I think he's going to start.
With Jordan Mailata, right? Jordan Mailata, yes, he was not the best number-wise and everything, but when you watch him, he's taken over two positions because the person next to him can't do what Landon Dickerson can do. So you got to be able to help that. So now we're in a situation because now we have these veterans that was banged up last season. Now this Chris Cooper and Sherman scheme of blocking now is helping out those tackles. So now it's not more on just one person, and they should be able to have longevity seasons now. And I guess their minimum rest of their careers or whatever like that. As far as the tush push and all that hindered them too. And Nick Sirianni made bad play calls. Kevin Patullo made bad play calls that season. And I feel like Stoutland, the only thing Stoutland is at fault with is basically keeping those guys out there just because they're starters.
Exactly.
Just because they're starters, they weren't ready. They weren't prepared mentally or anything like that. And then once you seen that he was concussed, he should never seen a second half of football, but he did. And that's just bad coaching. That's what it is.
Right.
Can you put that Cowboy fan on there? He just said, what? Jalen Hurts can't read the defense?
No, see, I'm not even entertaining it because
I just want to entertain the troll because listen, man, it's the off season. I understand y'all feeling great. You got Caleb Downs. You know what I'm saying? I understand y'all feeling great. This is what y'all do every year. I'm just sitting back enjoying my day. We're not even talking about the Dallas Cowboys. You over there in the comments talking about the Dallas Cowboys. There ain't no Law Nation on live right now. You on the Eagle stream for what?
DV, let's talk about that, man. We got Giants fans talking about they're going to go, 12-5, whatever the fuck. And Cowboys fans saying they're going to go 14-3, and they're both swearing they're going to win the division. And
I heard a Cowboys
they got us
fan
at like the bottom of the division. They saying Washington going to take care of us, all that. So I'm wondering, what is they smoking? Because, man, I'm telling you, my kids don't get that strong.
I had a guy on IG that I reacted today that told me Dak Prescott's going to win the Super Bowl. He said, what are you going to do with Dak wins the Super Bowl? I'm like, bro, have you watched your quarterback? The same quarterback that told the owner for the Rams he was going to win the NFC Championship. Jerry Jones looked at him with two heads. Like, what are we talking about? This man's wearing. Think about it, bro. He's wearing Super Bowl gear that he wasn't even part of, man. I can never understand how a quarterback that is so out of touch, man, is wearing Troy Aikman's Super Bowl T-shirt,
He
bro.
said, "I'll see
That
you
is
in the
goofy.
NFC Championship." He didn't
This
even make the playoffs.
This guy's a joke, bro.
To answer your question, right?
Go ahead.
First, man. The first thing I do want to point out is the Commander fans got to worry about the incest that's going on between quarterback and mom. Let's just start there. The fact that
you let off a bomb, yo.
Oh yeah, of course. The fact that you sit up there, you walk out with your mom, or you have your mom on your back, piggyback riding like this is your girl is weird. They call it.
That's weird, yeah.
Well, we already know who did that already. JJ Arthur-Whiteside.
Wait. They're calling Jaden Daniels his mom's husband. It's crazy to me.
They're calling Umbrella Man 2.0 in Washington.
It's crazy, yeah.
I've never heard that term before.
Sunsman. That's what they call it. Sunsman.
You know, Washington needs a receiver. I know a guy that would love to have his mom on the sidelines. His name is Umbrella Boy. He's still looking for a job.
So
yeah, that was crazy.
I'm not too worried about the Commanders, man. I'm really not.
I don't even call them the Commanders, bro, because they don't command nothing. I don't know why they call themselves the Commanders. I think it's offensive to call themselves the Commanders. I call them the Washington question marks because they still haven't found a name yet. You know, say the Washington Caboose.
Cowboys.
That's
I'm getting on the Cowboys next. No, not next. I'm last. So
okay.
I can't believe we're still playing them week 1, man. I wish we played someone else.
Hold on, let DB cook.
Let's go to the Giants, right? So on Leo's channel, shout out to Leo and everything he does in the Eagles Collective and Eagles Collective and Fells and Eagles Drew and
Leo's in the chat.
I think I don't know. I think they left already. I think they about to get ready for their show in a half an hour. But but shout out to them. It's just when you have a Giant fan on and all he can say about the Eagles is remember that Thursday night game when my God.
but then they forgot
I sat up there was snapping on my last live because I'm sitting there like you cannot sit up there and talk about that game like we didn't have a short week. We didn't have Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo out there. You can't sit up there and talk about the situation that the offense really put us in because of bad play calling. Jalen Hurts did throw an interception at the end of the game. They barely won just because he was running and everything. That's because Vic Fangio had to sit up there and do something because we was getting cooked on the outside with these two knuckleheads on each side getting burnt by guys that's not named Malik Neighbors or so forth. So yes, we had to do something with the edge rushers going into coverage. So now that gave lanes to run. So of course you're going to sit up there and do your thing, and that's their Super Bowl. That's what makes it. That's what makes it great. That was their Super Bowl. So now it's like, what do you do after that? On top of that, they have so much pride in Scatterbo. So much pride in Scatterbo. And I'm sitting here like he's not who y'all think he is. He's not.
And I told BG 31 when he was telling me on the phone, right? He told me the Giants gonna be good. I said, bro, the Giants not gonna make the playoffs this year. I don't even got them making the playoffs. Like I know I rock with my guy BG 31, but he talking like the Giants got better, bro. They had first of all, the Eagles were bad all along. We knew that I had us losing to the Giants. I said we're gonna lose this game. Like I literally, my friend picked me up from work and he was telling me, how do you feel about this game? I said, we're gonna get smacked. He was a Giants fan. I said, we're gonna get smacked. And he said, oh, you sure? You don't have any confidence? I said, no, I don't have any confidence. I don't have confidence in this team. And it's not because I didn't believe it, because I knew it was a short week and we just came off. Then we just come off a loss. So we're still talking about fixing our ways. And it's like, it was a short week. And let's be real, this team did not look like they were prepared. You know what I'm
No, not
saying?
at all. Not at
It
all.
did. And it didn't help the Saquon Barkley documentary came out the same day. You know what I'm saying? Where it was on Amazon and you
Didn't
watch
help.
the Giants put belt to ass on you. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
that's the
it's fine.
win. And then what did
It's
we
fine.
do to
I
them?
think
What did we do to them in the second game? Barkley ran over them.
only way that they can make it tough, the only way that the Giants make it tough on the Eagles when we play them is the defensive running defense. That's the only thing because you need the running game to be working in order for this offense to work, right? So you're gonna have the Abdul Callers, you're gonna have these other guys that's coming in, trying to get to Saquon Barkley, trying to get to Jalen Hurts, trying to get to Tate Bisbee. You know, they're gonna try to stop the run at all costs. And it's all going to be about Jalen Hurts going back and tapping into 2024 Super Bowl or even 2024 NFC Championship when we put 55 to the Commander's head. Whereas though now he's taking those lanes, he's throwing the ball, he's doing these things. Whereas though they say that he can't do, you know what I'm saying? So I want to see just because how the scheme is working now without pads, I want to see how it is working with pads, and I want to see situational play calling where as though that the defense is showing different looks. How do you audible out of that? If the offense is struggling, I want to see how Showman does that. Like
Well, I
basically,
mean,
hey,
if her offense is
going
struggling,
to
go ahead.
hold on. So going into just going into like halftime if we're struggling at half, like we don't want to. As an Eagle fan, we don't want to sit up there and be like, yo, it's a whole nother half that we did not score. How are we going to belt? Like, we don't want that. We want to score every single time we touch the rock or at least get 3, you know. And I know, you know, Jake Elliott is one of those ones that, you know, we're biting our nails every time now because he hasn't been consistent as he once was. But all I'm saying is when it comes down to the Giants, that's their biggest hope is they stopped the run because I like their front seven. I do. They would have been even more deadlier if they still had Dexter Lawrence. If they still had him,
Is Zesty Dexy?
Huh?
Zesty Dexy? That's what I call him.
Yeah.
Zesty Dexy.
So they don't have him no more, right?
Mm-hmm. He's gone.
So right. So that's what I'm saying. Like we gotta know what to attack, right? As far as the Dallas Cowboys, right? The Dallas Cowboys does this every single year. Anytime we 0-0, you hear them loud and clear and all that. And then we start seeing them melting down by week. You know, the first 2 weeks, they awesome, you know. That's why I need the Giants to win week 1 against the Cowboys. But I really do. Because it's always the first 2 weeks. It's always the first 2 weeks. And it's like, yeah, we already knew that Dak Prescott was in MVP mode and everything like that. Then everything just start crumbling down. Everything
they're going to beat the Giants, bro. We cannot count on that team to do anything.
No. See, I can. You know why? Because I feel like that the Giants has better tight end work. They got the guy from the Ravens, so hopefully that helps. They got I think Odell Beckham Jr. don't make the roster, but if he does, that's just a veteran presence. I don't know if Malik Neighbors is going to be ready for week 1. I don't believe so. So I can't count on him at all. But I think that with Scatterbo back and everything, I still don't believe, regardless of CP is over there or not, I don't think they can stop the run. I don't think they can at all. So Scatterbo should be energized and all that. And I think they played them not in Arlington. They played them in Jersey. So I think that, you know, they got a good shot to have this like a close game and a close win. They have a shot. But the Cowboys,
man, you know the Giants gonna lose. It's the Giants.
No, I look. I'm not saying I don't really. Honestly, if I had to choose, I hope they both lose. But at the same time, I
would love a tie.
At the same time, I think that the Giants is going to put up a fight week 1 because they're going to be happy that Scatterbull is back. Scatterbull is going to sit up there and try to prove that, hey, he's back from injury. And then I feel like that everything is going to come together for the Giants to make it a game. I don't really care who wins, but I will be cracking up if the Giants win week 1.
You know what's going to happen? The Giants going to play 2 good quarters of football, and then the Cowboys are going to put 40 on the top, and we're going to be like, damn, the Giants came out with a fight. Every year they do this, man. I expect the Giants to go out there in the first quarter, put up a big fight.
Now if that Cowboys O-line, can't hold up, I'm trying to tell you.
I don't think they got to worry about the O-line. Because we listen, man. The thing about it is the Cowboys fans don't want to admit it's the quarterback, bro. The quarterback always gives every team a gift, and that is a pick. You know, when you don't expect it, you can expect Dak Prescott to give you a nice turnover in the biggest moments. Last year, he gave the Denver Broncos 2 interceptions, and they blamed the defense. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this is if the Giants win, it's because Dak Prescott once again shows what everybody has been saying, that in the crucial moments of a game, he turns over the ball, or he go and try to force a ball and he gets intercepted. But again, like I don't know what to expect from Jackson Dart, bro. I don't know if he's going to come out and look like what he did, because now you got tape on him, and we know quarterbacks in the second year, they can go from, you know, where Jalen Hurts was and go to the Super Bowl, or they could be like, you know, CJ Stroud and guys like Jaden Daniels, you know, guys that regrets. So how is Jackson Dart going to go? How is he going to do? You know what I'm saying?
I don't see it with Jackson Dart, man. I don't.
I don't
I'm
see
sorry. I don't see how this guy's gonna. What, this guy's gonna go deep in the playoffs and maybe win a Super Bowl? Hell.
Not what Jalen Hurts is a quarterback. Listen, I'll keep telling you, Jalen Hurts is the Tom Brady of this division. They're never going to win a Super Bowl, and Jalen Hurts is here. I'm telling you right now.
No.
They're not going passes. And the only way they go passes is somehow, knock on wood, that Jalen Hurts gets hurt somehow. And he does, and it's unfortunate. You know, but that's not going to happen. So
the Commanders did that in 24 because they couldn't beat us, so they took out Jalen, one of their dirty ass players. What was that dude's name?
That's right. And what happened after that? We put 55 on the hit top for that little.
Yeah, and then the next time he seen him was in the NFC Championship, and he absolutely
ran over him. Remember that defense corner slowed it down, and he could stop.
They took that personally. They took that. The Eagles took that personally.
Yeah, because the defense corner was like, "Yeah, we could stop Jalen Hurts. You know, if he runs, we're going to hit him." Okay, you know what I'm saying? How about that one? How did that work out for y'all? You know, like I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I feel like we're going to blow the Commanders out somehow, because I think Jalen's going to make a statement. Maybe it's just me. I know. I don't know. Division rivals are tough though, so like it could go either or. You know what I'm saying? Right. I could see the Commanders fighting. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, if our offense struggles, man, like, and it continues to struggle like last year, I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the offense corner. I'm looking at the head coach, because I'm going to say, okay, you know, this is This is going to be the third time we're struggling. No, it's like either you're involved or there's something happening behind the scenes, because why are you struggling still? You know, so when we hear all this hype in training camp that Sean Mannion is supposed to be this genius, and then we see, because you know when it's the offense, when Nick is running it, it's the basic bland offense. I'm going to know when it's Sean Mannion and when it's not. There's going to be no guarantee. I mean, there's going to be guaranteed fact who is calling this offense. If we see the same formation we saw last year, where they're not running the ball, they're in shotgun 24/7, it's Nick. It's Nick. 100%, he's involved again. Here he goes. There's the coach. And I don't care what anybody says. He got to stay out the way, man. He got to stay out the way. And if he doesn't, then you know what? You know, you got to make some tough decisions. And I get it. He's Super Bowl champion, head coach, all that. But if he's affecting this team, you sometimes got to make tough decisions. You know, if he can't stay out the way, you know, what do you do in that situation? You're going to go for another collapsing season? I don't want to go through that again.
It's not going to be a collapse season. I think that
I hope not.
They was already saying, and I hope, because tomorrow I think Charmaine is supposed to speak tomorw, so I want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah,
we're going to actually hear a coach that can actually talk in a creative mind.
Wait, but the way that Nick Sirianni works, I feel like that he already set the foundation that certain things that was already working for Jalen Hurts in the offense, some things are going to be kept in the playbook.
Oh God!
So you can't sit up there and say that he's calling it. If Sean Mannion agrees with certain things where we're going to pull those stunts out and everything like that, that's comfortable, which I don't think we should. But if he agrees with that, because I know in 2024, Kellen Moore, he actually agreed with it. He actually agreed with it. He said me and Nick Sirianni collaborated. He said that on the podium. So I didn't hear Charmaine. Listen. I didn't hear Charmaine say that yet. So I'm giving that hope that it's almost like if we're talking about anything, probably the tush push if we need to do that. Anything else, I feel like that it should just be scrapped, and it should be just the whole offensive scheme of Charmaine and that tree that he's from. That's all I want.
There should be no collaboration at all.
No,
I don't want Nick to have 1% of the offense.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
You the number one Nick Sirianni.
He does nothing. He does nothing.
Listen. Let me ask you a question.
DB, don't try to pump him up like he's somebody, man.
What does he do, bro? Like, let's keep it real. We gotta stop being biased. Like, we gotta stop being biased. What does he do? What does he do?
Nobody knows, bro.
And that's my thing, bro. Like, we got to stop with he's the winningest coach. And it's like, I feel like my quarterback is bailing him out.
Toughness, detail, together.
Yeah, where was that last year when we were struggling? Where was the tough detail together that?
Yeah, where was that last year, bro?
Listen,
I didn't see no tough detail together when we couldn't game plan. That's for sure.
We've been in 2 Super Bowls. Okay, think about it. Okay,
because of Jalen and that team around him.
If you want to talk about last year, let's just talk about last season, right?
Yeah, let's talk about last year.
Last season, from what we know from the reports and what was said subliminally by the players and the coaches and all that, you had Nick Sirianni that was egotistical because they won the Super Bowl and everything. Then listen.
No, I'm listening to you.
He hired Kevin Patullo, right? Mm-hmm. So then by week 4, so first of all, about a rookie offensive play caller and Kevin Patullo. You don't have your quarterback that just won Super Bowl and was the Super Bowl MVP yelling at you on the sideline, right? The number one thing that I blame Nick Sirianni for that whole season is that he never was animated with Kevin Patullo of play calling, even the last play, right? So when you sit up there, it's one thing. Okay, let's rewind. Wait. Mm-hmm. Let's rewind. After the 2023 season, he had a whole interview talking about, hey, if I gotta give up play calling, that's what I gotta do, and so forth. Because I'm pretty sure that Jeff Lurie and Harry Roseman got on him, right? Then in 2024, Kellen Moore comes into the picture, somebody that he went against years ago for the head coaching position. Now he comes in. Has Cowboys fans was all saying that good luck running the ball because he don't run the ball and so forth. I'm like, he's going to actually have to run the ball. We 2-2 in the season. We're sitting up there saying who's to blame. Oh, Kellen Moore don't know what he's doing and everything. Soon as Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, and Landon Dickinson went into those offices and told him to run the ball, that's basically what we ran up on. So basically, if you want to be honest, Saquon Barkley got Kellen Moore a head coaching job. So then you fast forward after the Super Bowl, all last season, think about it. Stoutland, I'm not gonna lie, he's up there in age, so he's probably was stuck in his ways. But I feel like that Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni played a major part of the downfall of that offensive line and how they block. Because the running game was the same. Saquon Barkley didn't even look the same. He's running north to south a lot.
I mean, it doesn't help when your offensive line it hurt again, but it doesn't help when you got a McDonald offense corner that should be selling fries in the bag and not call plays. And he's out here running.
They stopped pulling last year too. The whole line, like that whole thing was just jacked up last year. Like none of the whole linemen were pulling, and that was their superpower in 2024. We were talking about that's one of the greatest O-line ever. And that shit went from that to they couldn't even pull no more.
It's crazy because you know what made it worse that year is when they brought that stupid bunny into the locker room and everybody's laughing at us and it's all you know what I'm saying? And it's like it's supposed to be motivational. It's like bro.
It is. But what brings you to that point? Because think about it. On top of that locker room situation, people could have been mad at Nick Sirianni, right? But then you also got to think about the AJ Brown situation. You got to think about that. Nick Sirianni didn't do that. Nick Sirianni didn't AJ Brown to sit up there and do and run routes lazy or not block down the field.
You should have sat him
or
down
not-
then. You should have sat him down. If the guy's not producing, bench him.
That's not
what I would have done.
That's not Nick Sirianni, and Nick Sirianni has to learn from that. Not saying Nick Sirianni is perfect. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the way he is more so he's the motivational coach and everything. Why do we give the Lions head coach so much praise when he's not good of a play caller either?
But he took over play calling though. Even though he wasn't good at play call, he still said, "Hey, look, you're not doing your job. I'm gonna take it over." Nick didn't even do that. Nick was sitting there saying Kevin Matula is doing a great job. We all know we watched the same game, and this guy couldn't every week.
EC1. Why would Nick Sirianni sit up there and say, "I'm gonna take over play calling for you to have more material for him"?
Well, see, that's
why
the
would
thing.
he do that?
He sat there and let the
water. He
sat there and watched the ship sink.
One thing I respect about Nick Sirianni. One thing I respect.
If he actually took it over, because we I know one thing. But
listen, one thing I respect about Nick Sirianni is that he felt when he had to fall on that sword.
You should have hired the idiot then.
They already extended him 3 years after the Super Bowl.
No. I'm talking about Kevin Patullo. Why couldn't you not go to Howie and say, "Listen, go give me an office coordinator"? The man literally picked Kevin Patullo, and it's like that to me is a coach that understands this team, and nobody even wanted him. You look at Jalen Hurts' reaction; he's like, "Bro, who is this guy?" You know what I'm saying? Compared to
it was somebody. No, it was somebody that wanted him.
Who
wanted him?
AJ Brown?
Yeah, he wanted him.
And he didn't do shit with him.
Right.
He didn't show up. So I mean,
so now think about it. Okay, now he don't have a friend, somebody that's in house. He has somebody that's new. Him and Howie Roseman. He kept saying him. He chose this guy, but I think that him and Howie Roseman picked Strowman, gave him full autonomy. So that should give him enough leeway to just leave things alone, because now you got vets, you got rookies. Of course, you got QB1 and Devontae Smith. You got these guys all saying that they like this scheme. They like this system from previous years. It's a better way of blocking. It's a better way of doing certain things. So his best option right now, because regardless if you like him or not, Nick Sirianni's best option is to stay out the way. The only thing that he has, the only thing that I will sit up there and say that Nick Sirianni will probably have to insert himself into in game is if it's like 4-1 or a short. Hey, should we go for it? Should we do this, or should we shut out the kicker? That's the only thing. Besides that, I don't want him to be calling no plays.
Well, that's another thing, man. Do you trust Jake Elliott? I think we should bring competition in, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. All that money you getting paid, you get paid.
I'm not doing that. I'm giving him just like I said about, because everybody was ready to quit on Jalen Hurts too.
Kicking since 2022, he's been up and down.
Everybody was ready to give up on Jalen Hurts after 2021, and they was ready to give up on him after 2023 because he was playing a lot of hero ball because that defense sucked that year, right? I'm gonna give him Jake Elliott one more season. If he doesn't get, or even a half a season, if he does not get it right, because they just said that he was practicing, and he only missed like one field goal. I think it was a 40-yarder.
Remember, he wasn't good in 24 either. He just got better at the end and started kicking good in the playoffs. But he was ass in 24 too.
Some kickers are like that. Some kickers are like that. They are better when it's a lot of pressure.
Not the Cowboys kicker. Is Nick trying to call you?
No, go ahead.
No. I'm just saying, like, not the Cowboys kicker. They get away with kicking 65-yard field goals. We don't even get that. Well, Ellie can kick far. It's just the short range, bro. Like, I don't understand. You can kick far, but you can't kick a 42-yard field goal or 35 field goal, but you can kick a 63, 62, but you can't kick short range.
Look, the kicker is really not my concern. I think that
that's not my beef.
The only think about it. Because again, like I said, all these guys that we're talking about, even Jalen Hurts, all have some type of flaw with them, but I already know that. Like Nick Sirianni, one thing that sticks out about Nick Sirianni, I think that what game was that? I forgot. It was last season,
It's all right, bro.
and he was going for 2. He kept going for 2. Then he decided, like, okay, we're gonna put the kicker out there. Kicker was cold as hell.
Yeah.
We all sitting up there like Jake Elliott got to hit this. He can't because he's cold. He has, regardless if he's warming up on the sideline. He hasn't been kicking field goals when we should have been taking points. He was going for 2.
Well, I mean, you remember when Nick Sirianni and Dan Campbell were fighting for who can go for extra 2? I mean, go for a 4th down, and they both don't get it, and they were deciding who could be dumber as a coach and decide who could. Yeah, how many times we went for it and we didn't get it? Like, bro, he was trying to compete with who could be more aggressive than the other. And then you don't be aggressive the next week. I think it was the following week, right? I think it was after Detroit in the Packers game. You go back to being conservative. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Lions game. I think we went for on 4th down. Like how many times? Like 5 times or 6 times? Do you remember that? Where we went for on 4th down, we didn't get it. Like it wasn't even close to the 1st down.
Yep.
Yeah, but I understand why he did it because again, when you have a kicker who can't make field goals, you put yourself in that situation where it's like, do I trust the kicker? You know, he should be able to hit that with all that money we're paying him. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's not getting paid. He getting a lot of money. He took a pay cut this year? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I mean, if he took a pay cut, but listen, like my biggest fear is again, like I think I honestly I feel good about this team. I know I sound like a negative Nancy, but there's things we got to talk about. I can't just like everybody wants us to not focus on the same coach, like it didn't happen. No, you have to talk about it because it's in the back of your head. Yeah, I'm feeling great about this team. I already think that we're going to be in the Super. That's my prediction. I think we're going to be in the Super Bowl again. You know what I'm saying? I think Jalen Hurts going to have a great year. But it's like in the back of my head, I have that delusion. Like, is this coach going to be in the way? And if he is, all that things you've been doing is, you know what I'm saying? But it's like
there's so many things. There's so many other big things to worry about.
And I don't want to sound like I'm negative, KingDV. I don't because I'm happy as hell goes back. Like,
but it's so many things that's actually ahead of Nick Sirianni, man. You got if the offensive line is going to be healthy. You got
that's the biggest key too. Yeah,
you got the health of Saquon Barkley. You know, he got a lot of tread on them tires. And
I don't think Saquon was bad though. I think the offensive line.
The offense was trash too, but it caused Saquon Barkley to overthink behind that horrible offensive line, what made him look difficult or bad at times because he was going north to south and all that. And that's when Kevin Patullo took over the running game duties and all that and took it away from Stout. So then you got who else? You got let's face it, regardless of you like AJ Brown here or not, you mad because he left and all that. Like all of us is bitter. Sometimes we just petty, want him to fail because let's face it, what are you doing? My cat.
He cool. He's an Eagle fan just like you.
But you got that, AJ Brown was a bigger receiver, and yes, he couldn't separate, couldn't do those things. But on top of that, we got some skinny receivers, man. We got small receivers. We got to think about that. Anything behind them, we got to think about that. We got to think about a lot of depth, and then on top of that, on the flip side, you got to think about how Jalen Carter's going to play. Yeah, everything looked good without pads on. Yes, he just got a big payday, but we need him to cause wreck. Yes, I know the defense. The first 2 training camps dates, they was magnificent. They was good without Jonathan Grenard. But then we got to think about that. Of course, they probably going to be cautious because that's their most recent investment. So of course, you're not going to sit up here and rush him back. So I'm not really too concerned about Jonathan Grenard. We just need him.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Not to cut you off. Would you? I know they might not do it. Would you consider paying Jalen Hunt now before the bag gets? Because he's going to ball out this year. Like I think he's already turned up in training camp. Would you extend him now and get out the way? That way you don't have to worry about it down the road. Because I think he isn't able to get a contract after this year.
Yeah, because
So it's like, would you, if you're the GM right now and you see how Jalen Sun is playing, would you not try to extend him now? That way you can get those three done now and not worry about it down the future. Because I'm sorry, I love Jalen Sun and I don't want him to leave. I think that guy, I honestly think we have our edge rusher. You know what I'm saying? We just keep on getting guys in the building. And it's like Jalen Hunt has been very consistent, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? If he can get better and better as an edge, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's done more than Nolan Smith has. You know, and if I have to choose about one who I'd rather pay, I choose the guy that's been the best out of those bunch, and that was Jalen Hunt. I think Jalen Hunt is a dog, man. And I think those are the plays you just don't lose.
We kind of got to stop with these illusions a little bit, because you have to think about certain guys. Listen, you got to think about the certain guys that Vic Fangio wanted to bring in. That was a Vic Fangio pick. Think about it. How many more years do you think we have Vic Fangio? How many times do you think this scheme is going to be a Fangio scheme? So we got to look forward past that. It's easy to sign defensive tackles, just like it's easy to sign cornerbacks. When you got these edge rushers that's supposed to set the tone for the defense, Vic Fangio's scheme is only going to be set here for another, basically, including this year, 2 more years, tops at minimum. So you can't sit up there and say, we should sign Jalen Hunt right now. He has to play this out, because right now, think about it. He wasn't really a part of the plan until probably last season, because he led the team in interceptions and sacks. He wasn't a part of the plan. It was Jordan Davis, then Jalen Carter, then Q, then Coop, because Q could get his 5th-year option picked up if he wanted to, because Q not really concerned about getting paid. He's concerned about redeeming himself, especially because of that awful take on against the 49ers in the wild card round. So you got to pay these guys, but you got to pay Coop before Q, honestly.
Absolutely.
And I think if Q is going to bet on himself, I think that they're going to pick up his 5th-year option and then let him ball out that way and see where he goes. You know,
yeah, I just throwing it out. I mean, I just want to know your opinion, because like I said,
with Jalen Hunt, what I'm concerned about is like Jalen Hunt, guys like that. I don't know about Jahad Campbell, because I know Jahad Campbell is another Vic guy. He wanted him as well. I seen how hard he was cheesing when we got him, but at the same time, these schemes are going to change. How my mind goes to how strong mentally are they if it's something that they got to readapt to, and it's not like Vic Fangio's scheme. How do they adapt to that?
Well, don't we have his replacement already in the building? The guy that's been working with Jordan Davis, because I think
you also got to think like you talk about Clint Hurt.
Yeah, I think he would take over once Vic Fangio leaves. I think they have a plan where Clint Hurt will
he should take over. He should take over, but at the same time, how much do you feel like that I mean, I know he worked with Vic, but how much do you think that some of those morals may change when he bring in his whole new staff? Because he's not going to keep the same staff.
I mean, Vic Fangio said he's never going to retire, so you know we can hope that he'll stay alive for 4 more years, or play be in the game for 4 more years and coach.
Vic Fangio is also up there in age. He probably even forgot that he said that. Just like he forgot. Just like he forgot. Where was it? Because he was on a little bit. It was a interview that he was and he said that he was talking about Jahad Campbell, and he was like Jahad Campbell. He was like I don't see him coming back that soon, and he came back sooner than he thought. But I don't think he's coming back that soon. I think he's not even going to be prepared. I think it was like right before training camp, and he was basically saying that Jahad Campbell was not going to be back last season. It was last season. And they were talking to him. I forgot. I think
he got hurt.
Where all the coaches was talking and everything like that. So yeah, I think
he got hurt in the beginning of the season. Remember, he wasn't ready. I think he was. I think he got hurt a little bit.
I think that I trust Vic, but at the same time, I think that when Vic is ready to go, Vic is ready to go, and we can't bank on him staying here forever. We can't. That's the reality of it. And all these guys is going to sit up there and like these years, and then as Vic stays, say if Vic stayed for 4 more years, Vic stayed 4 more years. They 4 years older. Now we got to sit up there and regroup the whole defense.
We already got our next guy. DV,
That's what I'm saying.
Don't. Yeah, you're talking like we gotta like look for this guy. We already got Clint Hurt.
No. I know. We got Clint Hurt. Okay, let's make it realistic, right? We got Clint Hurt, right? Who's going to be the cornerback coach?
We're a guy in the building though.
Who?
Didn't we just hire a new cornerback coach?
Yeah, but that's a part of Vic's staff. What if Clint Hurt don't want him there?
Why would you not think that Clint Hurt wouldn't want these guys to stay in the building if they're successful? I think they would keep those guys.
The question was, what if he don't want them there?
You're doing ifs though. Well, what if he does?
I trust Clint Hurt to bring in if he doesn't want this guy, and I trust him to bring in the right guys.
Because it's not like we could just okay, Vic retires, Clint Hurt get up there. Yes, we already knew that was going to happen, but then what? Who's going to take over Clint Hurt's spot?
I guarantee he'll hire someone that has experience. I mean, say he has experience. We're not going to act like he's never coached. I mean, he was with the Seahawks, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I mean, they had, I mean, he has more qualifications than CP, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Hasn't he already been a defensive coordinator? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, wasn't he part of the Seahawks that year when they went to the Super Bowl? Or wasn't he part of the Seahawks when they had Bobby Wagner and all these guys, and he was working with them?
Yeah, he coached up some of the biggest names. Yeah, sure.
He worked with a lot of players. So it was like I expect him to. I'm not saying he's going to be Vic Fangio, but I think he's going to bring a similar mindset. And I don't think Howie Roseman is going to change schemes, because if that's the case, I don't think they would pay guys like Jordan Davis and all these guys if they were going to change schemes.
So in 2014, Clint Hurt was hired by the Chicago Bears as an assistant defensive line coach. Then he later turned into an outside linebacker coach. Then he was hired by Seattle Seahawks, where he spent 7 seasons with the team as an assistant head coach and defensive line coach.
So I mean, he has more experience than what we had with Sean Desai. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
oh yeah, of course, I take him over Sean Desai any day. I'm not saying that. So my argument is not Clint Hurt won't make a good defensive coach. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is certain staff members might, out of respect to Vic or something like that. So how how it is in that locker room? We don't know. So we got to be prepared for that. We don't know.
I mean, you would think all the coaches. I mean, they've been saying they love Philadelphia. The only ones that have been leaving is the ones that's been on Nick's team. But the Fangio team is sticking together. The only guy that left was CP.
We're talking about Clint Hurt, and we're talking about Vic Fangio.
I'm just saying. You talk about all these other coaches that might not. I mean, who hates Vic Fangio? Everybody loves him. Everybody loves Clint Hurst. I never heard a bad thing by Clint Hurst.
You just did it. Everybody. I'm not saying nobody has nothing bad to say about him, but when Vic goes, who's to say that other people be like, look, I'm out?
You're doing hypotheticals, bro. What if they all stay? What if they all stay though?
If they all stay, that's great. That's great. But again,
the reason why you don't pay Jalen Hurts because you're worried about him not fitting the scheme. You don't think he can change and adapt?
Not just that, because I think he can play way better than what he has. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really like blow me off the fences. He's been developing and improving every single year, but we got to see what he does this year. I'm not paying him right now until I see what he does this year.
So would you pay Nolan Smith over him?
No, I mean, right now you're not paying. Well, technically, you picked up Nolan Smith 5th-year option anyway. So technically, you gave Nolan Smith an extra year to develop, because you already know the situation at hand, that he been injured, and you know his potential. You know what's going on with him. I always was a big a judgment guy on Nolan Smith, because when he first came into the league, especially with the Eagles, he had that one ghost move that I hate, because other offensive linemen knew what he was going to do. I'm like, yo, move your hands, work your hands. And he never did. It's just a ghost move. And he was scared of contact.
Were you?
Now,
I don't know if you were the one that was criticizing. There was one Eagle contract. I don't know if it was you that said he's too small to play this position. Were you one of them guys that were saying that when we drafted him?
I never said he was too small because I
Okay,
felt
because
like
there were a lot of people that was criticizing the fact that he was too. How would you say too small, like compared to other, like he wouldn't have been able to succeed or something like that. I don't know. They criticized him a lot when we drafted him. That he wasn't a guy that was a first round pick. You know,
Well,
a
he's
lot
a
of
smaller player when you're talking about DTs or not.
well,
Yeah,
Nolan Smith plays
edge rushers. When you're talking about edge rushers, he's pretty much as small as they get. I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong. I mean,
It's
I
not
don't think.
consistent though. That's my issue. If I have to choose between him and Jalen Hunt, I'm paying Jalen Hunt all the way because I've seen what he can do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this guy has more career sacks, I believe, than Nolan Smith in his whole career, right? I mean,
No,
who's the
yeah,
most productive?
I'd pay if I had to pay one of them. I'd definitely pay Hunt.
Like I think Jalen
why,
Hunt is a great player, and I think that
why do it have to be either or though?
because one's a first round pick. That's like, let me ask you a question: has Nolan Smith lived up to his number one? We talk about Jalen Carter, but what has Nolan Smith done? He had one good year.
He's been absent
Not even a good year. He just had a good playoff
because
run.
He can't even stay. That's a guy that can't even stay healthy.
right, but
And we talk about Jalen Carter.
again, and I know we live in a microwave way of thinking nowadays in this day and age, but think about it. What if we would have gave up on Brandon Graham? What if we would have gave up on?
Come on. You can't compare Brandon Graham to Nolan Smith, bro.
No. Now because we know how the end look. You know what I'm saying? So we cannot sit up there and just give up on these guys right away. The Eagles didn't. They picked up his 5th-year option. So I'm not saying that he's going to get paid today or tomorrow. I'm not saying he's going to get paid. Go ahead.
No, my fault. What I'm saying about Brandon Graham also didn't have someone who could teach him until other coaches got onto him and he started getting better. I mean, dude, like he had like when he first came into the league, right? And when you saw like he didn't have good coaching, and so he got who was his best coach? Jim Schwartz, right? You could argue Jim Schwartz.
Okay.
So I mean, look, when you have Chip Kelly as your head coach, and you got guys like who else? Who was before the Chip Kelly? I mean, those guys were horrible. So it's like you can't really say that because Brandon Graham has always been. He just couldn't stay healthy. Like,
but people, no, I'm saying I understand that he couldn't stay healthy, like you just said.
And he was getting injured.
That's my argument. That's my argument.
But I always thought he was a good player. I just think people wanted other guys. They wanted Earl Thomas.
When we drafted Nolan Smith, I think he was the 30th pick that year.
I was shocked we drafted him. I ain't gonna lie. I thought we were going straight back.
Yeah,
so y'all didn't want him. Y'all didn't want him.
I mean, there was you could argue there was better guys on the board.
I was cool with the pick at the time. Yeah, I mean, I seen that he was undersized, but I got worried about him being undersized. But I seen like guys like Brandon Graham that have been able to make it happen being undersized. But BG has like heft to him and he's undersized. You know what I'm saying? Nolan Smith has no heft to him. So he's not able to do any kind of like, bull rushings or any kind like how Jalen Carter gets down the middle. Sometimes he just uses brute force. He doesn't always have technique. And if you talk to Vic Fangio, he'll tell you Jalen Carter doesn't even have the grasp of the game fully. He just plays off of natural instincts and sheer power.
The offensive line are scared to go against you. You can't block him 1-on-1. Whereas like last year,
that slap move he does, he just slaps you in the face and gets you.
And we're not even talking about this. Like if Nolan Smith doesn't produce, and you got Jordan Davis that's healthy, like we never seen Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter fully healthy in full shape. You're not scared that going to be. Like I don't want to jump off topic, but Jordan Davis if he's in great shape with Jalen Carter, those two on that defense side of the ball, it's going to get scary. I don't think people understand the grasp of what we can be. Because Jordan Davis just started getting in shape last year. And now you're going to have Jalen Carter, who's going to be fully 100% on the other side. Pick your poison because you might have to double both of them. So it's like you better hope Nolan Smith can get, like if Nolan Smith can't get pressure then, or Jalen Hunt is able to get more pressure, I mean, what do you do in that situation? Because if these two are getting doubled and no one can get home, and let's say Jonathan Gennard came to get on the field, I mean, like, do we have to go back to like, or do we need another edge rusher again? Do we have to go and get one? Like, I don't want to do that, bro. So it's like these guys, like the reason why we got Jonathan Gennard is because Nolan Smith couldn't produce. That's why they got Jalen Phillips, because these guys weren't producing. If they were producing, we wouldn't have to go get Jonathan Gennard. We wouldn't have to pay him money. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have to pay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we wouldn't have to pay these guys to do their job for them when you have two edge rushers, Jalen Son and Nolan Smith, that can't generate pressure, and they're supposed to. Does that make sense? You have to hire. You have to bring Brand. I call him Brandon Gramps because he's getting older. We got to bring Brandon Gramps back. Respect the BG. I love him, but it's like you got to bring a 36-year-old back out of retirement, and then he's back in retirement. He's come back because these guys can't do their job.
It's crazy how Vic Fangio still got hope for Nolan Smith, and Eagles fans don't. They was ready to trade him. They was ready to do anything possible to get rid of this guy.
If we could get that coffee out of it,
we're ready to trade his ass. So he's got to be like, oh yeah, we got. Hey,
listen, if I could get a Max Crosby at that deal, he'd go to Las Vegas, bro.
No, they're not gonna want him.
That's the only way I would do it.
Bernard going down. I'm telling you, they might look at Max, because how do you know what's going to happen with Gennard? He's going to miss, at minimum, he's going to miss the training camp. So now you're talking about a player that's hasn't played nothing in like any meaningful football in like 2 years, with no training camp, coming off of like 100 injuries. You can't put any trust in that.
Don't have no hope that Gennard can actually like come back like week one.
I'm gonna have hope, and I'm gonna be optimistic, but I'm not gonna lean my team's future into it. I'm gonna put some. I'm gonna just in case, because I think he is gonna come back and do well, because he had back-to-back 10 sack seasons, and I think he's gonna get back to that, considering the guys that are gonna be next to him. But the thing is, like I said, the issue is if that 1% chance that he's not able to deliver, because he has to deliver big for us this year, or we're in trouble. So if he can't deliver big, we got to have some there ready to go. And I think Max Crosby right now is the best option.
Is the Max Crosby or someone got to step up from maybe the Vanilla Gorilla, like BG keeps on raving about Vanilla Gorilla. Tyler Robinson, where you at? Nowhere to be found so far. Taking third string reps right now. Not starting for the first team. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? Again, I've been right about Sidney Brown. I'm telling you, this guy's not what everybody been thinking he is.
Sidney Brown wasn't hard to grade. Sidney Brown was not hard to grade because he.
I'm so glad he's out of here. It's the greatest moment in my lifetime. When he was traded to the Atlanta Falcons, I was doing the happy dance.
My thing is, why is Ringo still dancing around the building, man? What the hell is he doing still there?
Why is he still on this team, bro? I think we should trade him for a comp pick at this point, bro. What does he produce? You should have sent him to New England with A.J. Brown.
You know what I'm saying? Dane Howie's daughter or something, bro, because there ain't no way.
I mean, I get why they keep him, because he's a good special teams, right? And I get that. If you want to play on special teams, but he should never, ever, ever be at corner ever again. That should be dead. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
no, if he plays a corner, we're looking at first round exit, bro.
Listen, if he plays corner, that means Tariq Woolen is hurt, and he's not healthy, because there's no way he's stepping on that field. There's a reason why we paid Tariq Woolen a 1-year deal, because we knew who was behind us, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you one guy that's really going to step up, Andrew McCouba, bro. Andrew McCouba. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. Remember, he didn't have a bad year until
he played well. Yeah.
The dummy decided to run into him that's in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? That's the guy that, it ruined his whole career, because if we had him, we also lost him in the middle of the season. What could we have been if we had him in the playoffs? You got to look at that. We dealt with.
Hold on, easy one. We over the 2-hour mark, man.
Sorry, man, but I'm excited, bro.
No, I get it. We all excited. We all are, man. I'm gonna do this more often. I'm gonna do this thing more often. Hopefully, I can have more people on. But any final words for the people before we get out of here?
Man, go fucking birds, man. Can I curse on this? I'm my fault.
Man, you already did it. You already did it. What you
Hey, man, Hey, go birds, bro. I'm feeling great about this team. Like I said, man, this team is going to be great. Like I said, I got Super Bowl. I think they're going to be in the Super Bowl again. That's just my prediction. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you call me crazy, but I feel like this team's energy is high, and I feel like Jalen Hurts going to show again. Hey, I made AJ Brown what he was, and people are going to sit there and say Wicks. This guy, I'm telling you, Wicks can be a number one receiver. I truly believe he's going to have a better chance with Jalen Hurts. I don't think they used him well, and I think with him and Sean Mann with that offense that he had. The familiars with the offensive coordinator, I think Wicks is a dog, bro. I don't think people understand how good Wicks can be. He's only 25 years old, and he hasn't even scratched the surface. You know what I'm saying? So I expect him to ball. I think he's going to be a lot more productive than what people think. And I think we got a 1A, 1B again. I don't think people understand that we technically play.
Okay. I mean, we shall see about Wicks. I think Wicks is going to
Dog,
be better.
bro. I'm telling you. So I'm jump off for that ball.
All right. What you got?
Let me start off with saying I appreciate you having me on, DV, and hopefully we're gonna be doing this much more in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure. And when it comes to the Eagles, listen, I've always gone into seasons thinking that Hurts is gonna come out and make it happen and win the MVP or whatever it is. But the thing is, the last 2 seasons I had stopped feeling that way. I was like, I think it's going to be more like just run the ball and maybe Hurts hit some open guys here and there, and we'll see how it goes. But seeing the training camp so far, and my opinion could change. I really feel like he's really stepped it up and worked on his mechanics where he can be a consistently elite quarterback. Not moments where he's elite and then we're like, 1 week you'll be like, holy shit, that's the Super Bowl MVP. The next week you're like, who the hell is this guy? If he can cut that off and have some consistency in his game, and that goes to the OCs too. So if we can if Sean Mannion can put something consistent together, and he can be an elite, he can finally get the credit that he's deserved for years and years, but he's just not been able to put it together because of these OCs. So hopefully this is gonna be the year, man. And I'm gonna say go Birds, and that's it.
And I'm gonna say one more comment. I think a lot had to do with this head coach, and I think you're going to see a different Hurts because now you get to have an offensive coordinator that understands him. This is my opinion. I think the coach has been holding him back, and we're going to find out. Though we're going to find out because
I know Saturday they do go on the field again, so hopefully the reporters could be able to report, give us some more film, give us some more reports on what they seen on 11-on-11s, see if we do some red zone drills and everything like that. But look, man, it's always been great to have everybody here and all that, man. As always, it's go Birds, fly, Eagles, fly. King DV signing out, man.
Appreciate it for my brother.